What is up, y'all? We're back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about some Stranger Things Season 5. But before we get into it, don't forget to smash the like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel. So starting off, I want to talk about the episode we just got revealed to us called The Crawl, and some details that can possibly be there. Now, I'm pushing forward. I've heard a lot of speculation about these episodes that's been revealed. And with The Crawl, I've heard people say they think it's about, creatures crawling out the ground from Season 4 once the gates open. I heard, people saying that it's probably a place where people have to crawl for protection due to everything that's happening in Hawkins. But I'm going to tell you what I think it could possibly be, just because it makes sense. Now, we know that when Season 1 kicked up, that Will actually went into this shed, got a rifle because he fell off his bike after he left playing Dungeons & Dragons with his friends. Now, we know for sure after seeing that behind the scenes trailer of Stranger Things Season 5 that we're going to get a flashback with Will Byers for sure. Like, it's confirmed. They got Castle Byers involved and everything. Now, I remember hearing something, and you guys comment down below if you think that you know the real details of it. But it was something where someone had brought up, and it was official too. Like, it wasn't like no leaks or nothing. They brought up like the first couple of pieces of dialogue from the script. I want to say from the episode The Crawl, and it says like, it's a little boy singing a song, and I think that was the only details we got. And I think maybe they had the lyrics like, should I stay or should I go? But maybe I'm wrong. Please comment down below if you think you know what I'm talking about. But either way, I think that the Crawl episode is going to be a flashback showing us how everything started and how it, started from the POV of the Upside Down, being that it's going to be something where from the moment they were playing D&D, we see it from a different angle, and we're going to see the Demogorgons and everything crawl from out the gate. That's what I think it could be, guys. I think that's why it's called The Crawl, because remember, a lot of people forget this. When that was going on with Will and everything, right before that, 11 had her battle with 1. She had her battle with 1. She ended up opening the gate, and that's what happened with the Upside Down. She actually created it from her battle with Vecna. Now, I think that's why we're starting to see Will and 11 so prominent in the TV series, because it's starting to surround them now, and they're the ones that have the craziest stories. Now, pushing forward, I think that we're going to get a flashback, and for sure it's going to be something with Will hiding in Castle Byers, how it was in Season 1, the earlier episodes, and we see Demogorgons, we see how they come out, we see the portals and how they operate and things like that. I think that's what's going to happen, because that makes the most sense. It's called The Crawl. Demogorgons definitely crawl, and I think it's going to show us how everything happens, and breaking it down like, okay, the Demogorgons come out the gate, this is how when they get up on ground, this is how they function, and showing us what happened with Will. I can see that because we've seen it in the BTS of that Stranger Things Season 5 trailer. I can definitely see them showing us that and how everything happened from a different side of things. Now, pushing forward, we got another episode called The Vanishing of blank. I heard people say Karen Wheeler, Nancy Wheeler. I am sold on Holly Wheeler, being that I think we've seen in the previous, seasons that Will and Mike, their friendship is falling apart due to his relationship with 11, and they're just falling apart. It's no more Dungeons and Dragons. They're outgrowing each other. So I definitely think when you sit here and think about it, Holly Wheeler makes sense, because it's going to bring Mike and Will closer, because like I told you all, it always happens like this, even in movies. Right when a friendship gets back right when a relationship gets back right, and they're getting things back on track, guess what happens? Someone dies, bro. And I think that that's when Will's gonna die. Once he gets his friendship back on track with Mike, and Mike's gonna regret, just being like, I wasn't there for you, I'm sorry, and he's gonna lose Will. I think that's gonna be the emotion that everybody's talking about. That's why David Harbour said that Noah Schnapp is crying his heart out, because I think he's going to die. I think he's going to be the one that's going to pull at the heartstrings, because it started with Will. He never got that success of him just getting through everything with Vecna Upside Down. He actually had to make a sacrifice. I think that will make it even crazier if Will sacrifices himself. But I still think, if Will doesn't go, it's going to be 11 or Steve Harrington also. But I think it's going to just be definitely multiple deaths, but Will is going to be the one that hurts the most. And pushing forward, yes, back to that, I think that Mike, he's going to, get close with Will off the fact that Will was the Vanishing of Will Byers before. He's gonna be like, hey, you've been here before. You gotta help me. My little sister has been gone. And then Will, is gonna have to help Mike just because, or Will just helps Mike off the strength because that's his friend. And he's like, bro, I've been here. I know how it happens. I know what she's gonna go through. And I think that's why we seen that scene with Holly Wheeler in her room. I think that's when she gets took. Cause think about it, lights are flashing and everything. That's usually, when the upside down is activated and everything, and it's involved in that scene. And I think it's going to happen the same way it happened to Will Byers, but this time we're going to know how it happened because we just seen the Crawl episode, so we're going to know. And that's the reason they're setting it up that way, is because Will is going to break it down. You know what I'm saying? So they're just showing us first just to get prepared for that Vanishing episode or whatever episode they decide to show. And Will's going to show, like, this is it. This is the blueprint. This is what I went through. This is how they was getting to me. And that's what's going to bring that together. And I think that's also what's going to bring the plot together for real. And it makes sense. And, some people are like, we don't need a Vanishing of Holly Wheeler. But we do, because it's actually telling us a story on how everything happened with Will. And that's the beginning point of the Demogorgons, the upside down and everything. And I think that's going to give them, the access to show us this blueprint without kind of taking everything away from it. And I think that's genius to do a flashback. Only thing is, they did it with 11. They succeeded with 11, when she was going up against Vecna. So I think they'll do very good with Will Byers and possibly the other kids. So I am thinking the first episode, we're going to go nostalgia. We're going to go, man, I remember this feeling when he got took, man, with the Vanishing of Will Byers. And I think that's what's going to set up the whole show. And I just think throughout all the episodes, it's about them mapping everything out for us, us getting prepared for the big grand finale of an ending with Stranger Things season 5. I think we're going to have, things with, Robin that we didn't know. We're going to get things with Nancy, Jonathan, and Steve a little bit, and mainly the kids, though. That's what the Duffer said, the main core of kids. I think that he's going to pull them together for sure, just because it's going to hit harder emotionally with this being the final season with them together and going back to how it started and defeating the upside down and defeating Vecna. That's why the last episode is called The Right Side Up. And I think that it's going to be to the point, at a point, that they're not going to be able to use 11. Maybe 11 gets severely injured. Everybody's all worried about people being, killed and everything. What about the injuries where people can't operate anymore, like broken arms or something like that? You know what I'm saying? What about that? And I think something like that may happen to the point where they have to use their brains. They have to use the blueprint of Dungeons and Dragons, because that's how it all started. And I said this, I think the ending will definitely relate to a big Dungeons and Dragons game. I don't think that it's going to be something where people are saying like, hey, at the end of this episode of season 5, the last episode is going to be the whole time I was faking it or just playing Dungeons and Dragons. No, I think it's going to replicate a Dungeons and Dragons game when they're going up against Vecna, possibly other creatures, because Dungeons and Dragons has other creatures. So I think that's what's going to happen with Stranger Things season 5. I think that's how it's going to play out from beginning to end. And there's other stuff I could talk about also, but like I said, I think Max is going to, a lot of times we see Max Mayfield where she's going to be in her conscious because Vecna has her caged. I think we're going to see a lot of her like how she was in that scene, that running up the hill scene with the red smoke. I think that's the only time we will see her earlier in the season on foot, is her being trapped by Vecna and being one of his slaves or whatever you want to call it. And he's using Max to get to, the main group of kids and everybody else. But I think eventually she's going to get out and then she's going to be back with her friends. Or I can be wrong. Maybe they just pulled a plug on Max Mayfield. It is the last season. I don't know. But yeah, man, I think that is going to be crazy. I think that is really going to be crazy. Season 5 is going to catch us off guard. And it's going to be something like we never seen before. I think that, that ending is going to be very emotional. It's going to leave us with some, closure. But we're going to be torn. I know a lot of people has been asking me about, the teaser trailer, and what did I think about it, and when do we get it? I don't know. I know for a fact, I'm not gonna say for a fact, but I think we're gonna be getting it sometime next year when they wrap filming. I think that's just reality. I think that they're gonna wait till they wrap filming and they could kind of sit back and look at footage and stuff like that, and then they'll give us the craziest trailer we ever seen when it comes to Stranger Things. So I think once we hear it's a wrap, get ready for the trailer. It's simple as that. Once we hear it's a wrap, just get ready for the trailer, because if it was the case, they would have gave it to us on the biggest day in Stranger Things history, Stranger Things Day, and they didn't. So I think that's telling us, hey, we're still working, but you know, we're going to give you guys something. So we just gotta wait patiently, guys, and then we're gonna look up, and we're in Stranger Things territory where it's coming out in a few months and things like that. Promotion starts. Target is filled up with merch. I can't wait. So yeah, guys, comment down below what you all think about everything we just talked about, and do you want more Stranger Things season 5 videos? Comment down below. Unfortunately, this is the end of the video. I want y'all to hit me up on all my social medias at ILIKESCARY, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.